It's Beth Mathews time, y'all. Beth is a graphic designer. She is here to talk about what she does, what she believes in, and probably a little bit about what you should believe in if her awesome little poster giveaway is any indication. So on your way out, pick up a little piece of Beth Mathews art. I want to say that now while I'm thinking about it. But all that's left on our to-do list, you guys, is to give her a very warm Creative Mornings Nashville style welcome. Beth Mathews.
Thank you. Thanks.
Have fun.
Thanks. Thank you so much for having me. Thank you, Creative Mornings. You guys are just the nicest people in the world, and it's an honor to be in front of all of you. So many of you inspire me every single day, and I feel just really honored to be up here. So I'm Beth Mathews. I've been a graphic designer in Nashville for 10 years. And I do print and web design, mostly. And I was talking to my friend Robin Burns, who's here, who's an awesome artist, and I was telling her I was really nervous to do this presentation, and she said, just be yourself. So I decided to kick it off with really being myself by showing you how I measure my success, and it's through cheese. Some people may measure it through, goals or metrics, but I measure it by, can I afford maybe some feta cheese right now? Or I've been at times where I've been in Velveeta cheese mode for a long time, and it was crazy. And right now I'm about a brie level, so I'm feeling pretty good. So this diagram might be helpful for the future, or the rest of the presentation of when I talk about my employment. Feel free to use this for yourselves, or swap it out with whiskey or whatever. So historical conquests of employment. Like I said, I've been here for 10 years. I started out at Second Harvest Food Bank as an assistant, and I kind of weaseled my way into being their graphic designer. After a year there, I must have been on my high horse because I quit and I tried to do freelance. And I had no experience, and I failed miserably. So thankfully, I got a job at EMI Christian Music Group in their record label department. And I had this really kick-ass boss named Jan Cook who taught me so much about design and being a woman in design. And she's amazing. If you don't know her, you should look her up. While I was there, I realized I should probably start learning some things about web design. And this was 2010, which meant I was already 5 years behind of everybody else. I got a job at CenterSource Interactive Agency, where I learned crazy amount of things about web design, and I'm grateful for that. And then after a few years, I took the freelance jump again, back down to the string cheese level, working till midnight, and just kind of nervous about bills. And then I landed a job with Hewlett-Packard being on their visual UX design team. And that's where I currently am now. But through all these jobs, I always had this dream job that I wanted to find a job where I could work for a company or a social enterprise where I could use my design skills and something for the good of mankind. But I just couldn't find a job like that in Nashville for some reason, and it started to become really frustrating. So thus enters saying yes to things I had no idea how to do, aka volunteering. I live in South Nashville in Woodbine, and it's a very diverse, immigrant-friendly neighborhood. And so I went into NICE, which is a refugee resettlement agency, and I asked them if I could volunteer. And they said, "Sure, do you sew?" And I said, "Yes." And I became a sewing teacher, and I don't know how to sew. And so every Monday, I would Google how to plus sew, and whatever I learned, I would teach Elmi here. I had a full class, and it really dwindled down to just me and Elmi at the end. And all he wanted to do was make this dress for his wife. He's from Somalia. He lived in a refugee camp for 11 years, and I helped him make this just pitiful dress for his wife, and it was a really awesome experience. I then moved on to ESL To Go, and if you don't know about ESL To Go, they're amazing. They have this large truck that they turned into a classroom, and they drive it directly into neighborhoods and apartment complexes for new Americans and do free English classes. I asked them if I could volunteer, thinking I'd be a tutor, and they said, can you teach English? And I said, yes. I cannot teach English, but I said yes. And one of the things that I learned in teaching English very quickly is that you teach the words same and different. And you do this so when you say a word, for example, like through, you know that it sounds the same, but it means something different. And so a majority of our class would be repeating, like, is this the same or is this different? And I did that for about 5 months, and we would get off track and we would start talking about things we love to eat or places we love to go. And I just kept hearing the word same, over and over. Not to be confused with shame if you're a Game of Thrones fan, but same. And everyone in that class, everyone was from a different country, and we're all different from each other. And it's really started to open my eyes to equality in a different way, because I had always, of course, believed that people were equal, but it was a very special way to learn that we're all from different places of the world and different backgrounds, and so many of us were just the same. And so it opened my eyes to a worldview that I could, go out my door and see my neighbors a little bit differently because of them. And I'll never fully understand the hardships that they went through just to get to that English class, but them echoing same back to me in a world that likes to tell us that we're different just really made me realize we all want the same things in life, which is peace, love, and freedom. We are the same. About this time, the Syrian refugee crisis was really ramping up on the news. It had already been going on for about 4 years, but I'm sure you all saw the videos or news stories and Facebook posts about Syrian refugees and how they were just fleeing by the thousands. And I started to feel just very overwhelmed by this and feeling like there was nothing I could do to help. And so I just kind of realized, like, I've been waiting for this so-called dream job to do something with these skills that I've learned, and now is the time to use them whether I have a job or not. And so I thus enters Simply Kind. I wanted to create a simple way for people to go to a website that they could trust and know that they could donate through it and be connected to helpers who are already on the ground and maybe feel like they're making some sort of difference in a situation that felt pretty helpless in a sense. So about a few months after I started Simply Kind, a Syrian refugee family got settled in Nashville, and my husband and I became connected to them, and we would do cultural orientation things with them, like take them to the grocery store. And I took the mom, Asma, to the grocery store. She's my age, and we were looking at the soaps and shampoos, and she was so excited about it. And she told me that she hadn't been able to buy any of these things for 4 years since they had to flee Syria. And so we bought all these items, and it was so fun. And that night, she sent me a message saying that she was so happy because she felt like herself again. And I had this moment where I thought, man, I wish every immigrant and refugee woman in Nashville could come here and receive some sort of welcome bag with these kind of items. And thus enters the mom bag. And I know that shampoo and lotion doesn't change the world, but I do want to create Nashville as like a welcoming place for people who have been through so much. So that night I took this pineapple design that I just did at one point, and I photoshopped it onto a bag. I created an Amazon wish list, and I posted it online hoping we'd do like 25 bags. And people just, it just spread like wildfire, and it was amazing. And by the end of the week, I had over 1,000 donations coming in through the mail. And thank you to my husband for, allowing, that's a terrible way to put it. We're equal. You know what I mean. Being a part of it. So this was happening, and we did our first mom bag event, and we ended up doing almost 200 bags, and we had 35 volunteers. Some of you are in the room here, so thank you so much. And it just kind of grew to be bigger than I could ever imagine. Each bag we put welcome notes. This is my favorite. A little girl who's 4 put, "I welcome you to Nashville, I love you." Just so sweet. And since then, we've been able to do a Christmas event and a baby shower event. This is our front yard. And this was partnered with Southern Women for Civil Rights, who's an incredible group in town. So I'm just really grateful for all the people that have donated and been a part of this. But through this project, as well as Simply Kind, I was able to use, extra time, because of that brie cheese status, to design some things and, use design to promote this. And it was really fun and incredible. And the project actually moved to 4 cities, and so there have been other cities that have done it, and I'm hoping that it will grow to even more. So when it comes to equality, I feel like it's such a big word, and it can mean so many people, so many things to so many different people. And I feel like with equality, there's a great, if you believe in equality, there's a great responsibility that comes with that. So I'll just read this real quick, and I just feel like with the belief in equality comes a great responsibility to each other in this world. It's a responsibility that says that other people's lives matter as much as my life. Creatives have a special place in this world because we have the tools to help make sense of it all for ourselves and for others. Art has always been at the forefront of any fights for equality. Art in any form is a way to connect with what's going on around us and gives us real-life tools to do or say something about it. And so I feel really lucky that Nashville is such a creative city because so many people are doing so many wonderful things, and it's amazing. So, also, I'll just say real quick, when I think of responsibility, that can feel like kind of heavy. And so this quote really helps me a lot, and maybe it'll help you a lot, if you can just do what you can with what you have where you are. And that's all really anyone can ask of you. So I wanted to end with one note. A representative from Catholic Charities is here. If you're interested in the idea of volunteering with refugees, you could go talk to Emily back there. And then finish with a video that my friend Elizabeth Olmsted and I did after one of the Paris terrorist attacks, when we just felt like the world needed a little bit of light. So what is kindness?
I think, to me, kindness is treating everybody with the same respect and decency, regardless of who they are.
Kindness, to me, is just being available, and being available for kind of anything to help someone out.
To listen. I think that's a problem with the world, is we don't listen to each other, and we just don't have a chance to just be able to hear somebody else's story. And it just takes a little bit. It just takes in, how are you doing? Are you doing okay? How's your day been? Just simple things. Hello, just saying hello.
Kindness is a type of selflessness that is embraced in how you treat every single person that you are able to meet.
When we think about kindness, we think about sort of reaching down to help someone out of something or to fix something for them. But sometimes I think it's more powerful just to kind of get into the mess with them and walk through life with them.
Kindness is being sweet. That's what I think. To me, but I don't know. Maybe it's a gentleness too.
Kindness is being loving.
What it means to me, being nice to people, treating people like they should be treated.
Find me a heart, a place to stay.
So thank you so much for letting me talk to you for a bit. That's it.